Hello guys, welcome back again to C Fashion Academy. Today I'll be teaching us how to cut and sew a female senator top. Please guys, I don't want you guys to make this mistake. Make sure you watch this video to the end in order to uncover all the secrets of what female senator top. And also guys, make sure you click on that like button, and if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Thank you and may God bless you.
Hey guys, today I'll be teaching us how to cut and sew a female senator top. Okay, but please I want to let us know there are two methods which we use in doing what? Cutting female senator top. Do you understand? There is this first method which is the what? The normal method, which is also called the what? The single method. That is, you cut out the front, use it and do what? Cut out the back. But there is also this method which is called the what? The together method, which is you cut both the front and the back at the same time. Do you understand? So for the sake of this particular tutorial, the one we'll be making use of is the one called what? Together method. Okay, so as you guys can see, these are measurements. We have shoulder of what? 15 inches. We have round bust of what? 36 inches. We have round under bust of what? 30 inches. We have the top length of what? 27 inches. We have under bust length of what? 13 inches. That is from the shoulder to the what? Under bust. And we have the round neck of what? 14 inches. Okay, we also have our sleeve measurement, but for the sake of this tutorial, we'll be cutting out the body first. Do you understand? Then before the sleeve. Okay guys, the first thing you do is to do what? Fold your fabric. Do you understand? So while folding your fabric, you consider two things, which is the what you're supposed to fold. That is the width which we are supposed to fold, and also the what? The length. Do you understand? So what I mean is that in order for you to fold, use your highest circumference. That is, the bust is our highest circumference in this case. That is what? 36 inches. You divide it by 4, which you are going to get what? 9 inches. Now add extra 5 inches to it. Do you understand? This 5 inches is just an allowance for the what? Folding sake. Okay, which you are going to get what? 9 plus 5 is what? 14 inches. As you can see, I've actually done what? Folded what? 14 inches. Are you seeing it? Okay, the next thing you need to consider is the what? The length of the what? The length of the what? The top. Now in this case, the length of the top is what? 27 inches. Now all you need to do is what? Please, this is the material for the front part. Remember what I told you is that we are going to be cutting both of them together, and that is what we'll be doing. Do you understand? But first of all, I'm showing you how to cut out what you are going to use for the cutting. Okay, like I said, the length is what? 27 inches. Are you seeing it? Now add extra 2 inches to it, which is for what? For the what? Hemming, or for the folding of the down part, which is making it what? 29 inches. Okay, so after you finish marking it out, all you need to do is to do what? Use your rule and do what? Connect. Please, I want to tell you, this part that I'm cutting out is for the what? The front. I'm still going to show you how to cut out the material for the back. Okay, so now look at it. After you are done, take your scissors and do what? Cut it off. Okay, now we are done preparing the material for the front. Are you seeing it? So we are to also do what? Prepare the material for the back. Like I said, while folding the back, fold exactly the same way you folded for the front. Only that the back is going to be what? 3 inches longer than the what? The front. Do you understand what I mean? Only that the back is going to be what? 3 inches longer than the front. As you can see, the width is just the same thing which I folded. Do you understand? So for the back to be 3 inches longer than the front, what we are going to do is to do what? We are going to place the front to the back. Are you seeing it? So now add 3 inches here. Okay, look at it. Add 3 inches. So after you are done adding it, take your rule and do what? Connect. Okay, after you are done connecting, next thing you are going to do is to do what? Take your scissors and then cut it off. Okay guys, after you are done cutting it off, now you will now notice that this is the front. Are you seeing it? Why this is the back? Now notice that the back is longer with what? 3 inches. Do you understand? Now these 3 inches, now I will show you guys the importance of these 3 inches as time goes on. Okay, now look at it. Now next thing you are going to do is to do what? After you finish cutting it out, is to do what? We are going to do what? Mark out our what? Shoulder slope. What do I mean by shoulder slope? As we all know that none of us here, none of our shoulder is what? Straight. Shoulder is what? Slanted. Do you understand? So we are going to slant this in order for us to get the what? Shoulder slope. So in order to get the shoulder slope, we work with the what? The shoulder itself. Shoulder is what? 15 inches. Okay, now 15 inches divided by 2 is going to give us what? 15 inches divided by 2 is going to give us 7 1/2. Okay, now since this is 7.5, all you need to do is to do what? Add extra half inch to it, making it what? 8 inches. Are you saying it? Okay, so at this point, what you do is what? You step down with what? 2. Now, the shoulder slope in this case, you step down with what? 2 to get your what? Shoulder slope. Now, for female, you can use what? 1.5 to what? 2 inches. While for male, you can use from 2 to what? 3 inches. But for the sake of this tutorial, you'll be using what? 2 inches. Now look at it from here to here, mark out what? 2 inches. So after you are done, next thing you are going to do is to do what? Take your rule and do what? Connect like this. Okay guys, after you are done connecting, please I want you guys to notice something. You notice that the back is longer than the front, but at this very point both of them are what? Together. So that means as I'll be cutting with my scissors, I'll be cutting at both the front and the back. Do you understand? Okay. Now look at it. I'll be cutting at both the front and the back at the same time. Are you seeing it? Okay, look at it now. Okay, so after you are done cutting both of them out, next thing you need to do, please look at this point very it's very important. Next thing you need to do is what? Since the back is longer than the front, now what you need to do is to do what? Push this front part here so that it will be equal at the down part. Are you seeing it? And the back now will not be longer from the what? Upper part. Okay, then after you are done doing this, next thing you need to do is to do what? Take your pin and hold it so that it will not do what? Shift. Okay guys, as you can see, now next thing we need to do after pushing it down is to do what? As you can see, the back now is now longer from the what? The upper part. So next thing you need to do is to do what? Fold it like this. Are you seeing it? Making sure that the back now is now touching to the what? The front part. Now look at it, fold it, make sure that this part is touching to the what? The front part. Okay, then make sure you do what? You iron it out. But for the sake of this particular tutorial, I'll be using my hand because this is actually what? A pattern paper. But if you're working with your fabric, all you need to do is to do what? Use iron and do what? Iron it out. And if you're not with iron, all you need to do is to do what? Use your pin and do what? Hold it. Okay. Okay guys, I want to show us something. As you can see on this particular dress, as you can see, it's the same thing. The back is coming to the front. Are you seeing it? The back coming to the front. Now, like I said, I promised to tell us the function of this. Please, this really helps the shoulder to relax very well. Do you understand? So that's why the back usually comes to the front. Another reason is because, like I said, the shoulder is not a plain surface. Do you understand? Shoulder is curved. So when you wear this particular dress, now look at it, the shoulder is going to enter into this place. Are you seeing it? Being curved. Like the shoulder is not plain like this. So never you think that when somebody wears it, it's going to be like this. No. Since when you put your shoulder, you notice that at the end of the day, this particular point you are seeing that is coming to the front will no longer come to the front, rather it will stay at the what? The middle part of the what? The shoulder. So because of the broad nature of the shoulder, that is why we usually do this thing. Do you understand? So if we were actually doing this thing for male, remember what we added at the back was what? 3 inches longer than the front. If it's for male, we can also use that same 3 inches, or we can even increase it to what? 4 inches, because men have what? Broader shoulder than the female. Do you understand? So that is the reason why we put this thing. It enables our senior to relax very well. Do you understand? Okay. So after that, next thing we are going to do now is to do what? We are going to mark out the what? The armhole. Do you understand? So in order to mark out the armhole, we'll be working with the what we call what? Armhole length. Okay, now look at it. We're working with what? Armhole length. But before even the armhole length, we first of all need to mark out our what? Shoulder. Okay. Now the shoulder, which is what? 15 inches divided by 2 is what? 7.5. Now from here, make sure you place it very well. Mark out your what? 7.5. Then plus extra half-inch allowance, making it what? 8. This half-inch allowance is for the what? The seam allowance, so that we can be able to join the what? The sleeve to the what? The dress. That is 8 inches. Okay. So make sure you mark out 8 inches again in order to get a what? A straight line. So after you are done, next thing you need to do is to do what? Use your rule and do what? Connect. So next thing we are going to do after we are done marking out the what? The shoulder is to do what? Mark out your what? Armhole length. Now, there are many different methods of getting the what? The armhole length. I have my simplest method, which is whatever you have here, from here to here, whatever you use is the same thing you use from here to here. What do I mean by that? Since our shoulder is what? 15 divided by 2 is what? 7.5 plus extra half inch, giving us what? 8 inches. Do you understand? So my dear, use the same 8 inches here. Do you understand? So mark it. So from this point, take your rule and do what? Connect in order to get the what? The horizontal line. So with these two lines, that is the vertical and the horizontal, we'll be able to form our what? Armhole. So in order to form the armhole, take your tape, make sure you mark out diagonally, as you can see this point whereby the vertical and the horizontal is what? Meeting. Diagonally mark out what? 1 inch. Are you seeing it? So after you finish marking out 1 inch, that means we'll be able to do what? Construct your what? Armhole. So in order to construct your armhole, please, it's very simple. Look at it very well. Since we have 8 inches here, all you need to do is what? At the middle of this 8 inches, which is what? 4 inches. So from here, gradually make sure that you do what? Connect like this. Are you seeing it? At the end of the day, you are now able to do what? Form your armhole. Now, please, I want you to know that the armhole does not stop here. There's also another thing we call what? Armhole effect. Now, this armhole effect, now it is only applied in front, not at the back of a dress. Do you understand? This armhole effect helps the dress. Sometimes you notice that when you are wearing a senator, you notice that the armhole part is so rumpled. Do you understand? So in order to avoid that rumpling, there are many factors which can cause that rumpling, especially the armhole effect. If you did not apply it, that rumple will appear. You understand? Then another thing which can also cause it is what? If you did not slant your shoulder the way you're supposed to slant it, it will also give you that what? Rumbling. So let's say we are done with the what? Shoulder. So now it's remaining the what? The armhole effect. So in order to apply the armhole effect, remember armhole effect is only applied what? In front. What you are going to do is what? If your armhole length is 8 inches, at the middle part, which is what? 4 inches. Okay? So from that part, take your tape and step back with what? Half inch to what? 3/4 inch, please. It is not just only half inch. You can also use what? 3/4 inch. The more you use, the more you reduce the what? Excess profit. What I'm trying to say is that you cannot use more than 1 inch. Do you understand? Because it will actually what? Eat up most of your what? Material. Do you understand? So like I said from half to what? 3/4 inch. Okay, so for the sake of this tutorial, I'm using what? Half inch. Okay, as you can see, look at it from here to here. So next thing you need to do is to do what? From here, connect to here, then back to this very point. Okay, now look at it. As you can see, we are done. So please, as we be cutting this thing, the first way of cutting, the best way of cutting it is, as you are cutting, please make sure you cut from this particular original one, not from this one, so that after you finish cutting, then you can now separate this one and cut out the front part following this particular line. Do you understand? Okay, so let's say we are done with the armhole. Like I said, we also have other different methods of getting our armhole length, but we talk about that one later. Okay, so next thing you need to do is to do what? You mark out your measurement points. It is very, very necessary. What I mean by the measurement points are those points we call the vertical point. That is from shoulder to the nipple point, from the nipple point to the under bust point, from under bust point, from the shoulder to also to the top length. Do you understand? So the first thing we do is what? From shoulder to the nipple point. That is the bust line. So from shoulder to the bust line is what? 9 inches. Are you seeing it? So from shoulder to the under bust line is what? 12 inches. Are you seeing it? So from shoulder to the top length is what? 27 inches. Are you seeing it? So on this 27 inches, what you are going to do is what? You add your sewing allowance, your hemming allowance. Do you understand? So it can be extra 2 inches. In most cases you use extra 2, that making it 29 inches. But as you can see, what we have here now is 30 inches. If you want your hemming to also be bold, you can also do leave it at that point. So next thing you need to do is to do take your rule and do connect in order to get the horizontal lines. So at the end of the day, as you can see, what we have is here is the shoulder level. Are you seeing it? Here is the bust length. Are you seeing it? Here is the under bust length, and here is the top length, and this part is the allowance. Okay. So next thing we are going to do is to do we are going to impute our body measurement. So in order for you to impute your body measurement, the round bust is 36 inches divided by 4 inches. 4. So what we are going to get is 9 inches. Okay, remember what I said. This is the measurement. The way I measured for this dress is what I call the fitted measurement method. Do you understand? I measured exactly what is on the body of the person. So on this particular pattern, I'm going to be adding both the body allowance and the sewing allowance. Do you understand? So the round bust, which is 36 inches divided by 4 is 9 inches. Mark it out. Are you seeing it? So you are going to be adding extra 2 inches to it. Are you seeing it? So you do the same thing to the underbust, which is what 30 inches divided by 4 is what 7.5. Okay, then add your extra what 2 inches allowance to it. Are you seeing it? So on this particular part, since we'll be having slit by the side, do you understand? Since we'll be having, because this is a C method, so what we are going to use at this time, normally people will like say we are going to use the word the round hip, but for the sake of this tutorial we are not using the round hip. Do you understand? We'll be using the word the same thing as the word bust. Remember, bust is 36 divided by 4 is what 9 inches. So that's the same thing we are going to be using. 36 divided by 4, 9 inches plus extra what 2 inches allowance. Are you saying it? Okay, so since we have this point, as you can see, we have this point and we have this one. So next thing we are going to do is to do what? Connect them together. Look at it now. From here I connect over to this side. Are you seeing it? Then from here I connect back to this particular side. Okay, as you can see, I've actually gotten the shape of the person. So, but there's something I really want to let you guys know. Is whenever you are working on a senator, remember senator is not like a normal blouse. Do you understand? Senator, no matter how tight it is, at least it has a little bit of freedom. Do you understand? So, and you shouldn't always allow this place to be too sharp. So what am I trying to say? See, look at it. If here is too sharp, all you need to do is to do what? Unsharpen it. How do you unsharpen it? Now look at it. After rolling it, all you need to do is to do what? See, look at it. I can unsharpen it this way. Are you seeing it? See, instead of it being something like this, you add extra to it to do what? Unsharpen it. So that is exactly what I've just done to this particular side. Are you seeing it? Okay. So now after you finish connecting, please I want you to know something. Wherever this your bust point stop, that is where the armhole base is going to do what? Stop. Are you seeing? Some persons will take their own something like this, be taking it further. No, wherever this the bust line the bust stops, that just take it up exactly. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, we have this perfect shape. Okay. So as you can see, there is something else still remaining is the slit, because without a slit, we must surely put a slit in order for it to be a senator. Remember what I told you guys, slit is usually situated at the waistline, but in order to give you guys figures to work with, do you understand? So from this particular underbust, what I usually use whenever I'm making female senators is what I usually use from 12 inches to 14 inches to observe my slit. But for the size which I'm using is I'm supposed to use for this particular size which I'm using, I'm supposed to use 12 inches. Are you seeing it? So 12 inches is at this particular point. Are you seeing it? Okay. So at this particular point, take your rule and do what? Connect. Are you seeing it? So next thing you need to do is to do what? Please look at it very well. Now, you need to add extra 2 inches. Now what I'm actually forming now, look at it very well. This particular stuff that I'm forming now is for the what? Is for the slit. Do you understand? We are going to be folding it in. So look at it. Are you seeing it? Okay, so now we've actually gotten the slit. Okay, also please make sure you extend it down to the what? To the hemming allowance. Okay, are you seeing it? Okay, so next thing remaining is to do what? Construct the neck. Next thing remaining is to do what? Construct the neck. So in order for you to construct the neck, we usually construct the neck using the what? Neck width and the neck depth. Like I said, I'll be making use of 2.5 for the neck width. Okay, now look at it. Now take your rule and do what? Connect in order to form a straight line. Next thing we are going to be using is what? We are going to be marking out the neck depth. Okay, the neck depth we usually use from 3 to 4 inches, but I'll be making use of 3.5. Are you seeing it? Remember what I told you guys is if your narrow neck is supposed to be 13, and at the end of the day what you have is 12, you can as well as do retrim it in order to get that 13. Do you understand? Please don't let it to be excess. So what I have here is neck width is 2.5, neck depth is 3.5. Okay, so take your rule and do connect in order to form the neck block. Now neck block is this thing you are seeing. Now next thing you need to do is to do form the neck curve. So in order for you to form the neck curve, you know exactly the same thing we did here. In order to form this curve, we usually use this thing whenever we are forming any curve. Do you understand? Remember we diagonally marked out 1 inch here. Is to use the same method here, diagonally mark out 1 inch here. Are you seeing it? Okay, so when you mark out one, all you need to do is to do what? Place your chalk here. Are you saying it? And do what? Connect. Are you saying it? So we are not done with the neck because we also need to do what? Connect like this. Are you saying it? Now, since we use 1 inch here, is what we use here is what? Quarter to what? Half inch. Do you understand? Look at what I mean. Diagonally. Mark out what? Quarter to what? Half inch. Do you understand? So after we are done, next thing we need to do is to do what? Cut it off. So guys, next thing I'll be doing is to do what? To cut it. So in order to cut it like this. Guys, remember what I said? When you reach this side and you want to cut, it's cut with the what? Original armhole curve like this. That is from the back. Which after you finish cutting, next thing you are going to be doing is what? Cutting out the what? The front armhole effect. Remember what I said? This armhole is meant to enable your dress to relax around the what? Armhole region. Okay, so after you are done cutting out the what? Armhole, next thing you need to do is to do what? Cut out the what? The neck. Please, I want you guys to really focus. While cutting out the neck, please, so many of us do end up cutting out both the what? The front and the back. It is very, very wrong. You understand? So if you want to cut out the neck, please lift the front like this. Are you saying it? Lift it like this. Then cut it out first. Are you saying it? So immediately follow up cutting out the what? The back part. So immediately you reach here, are you saying it? Just turn it like this. Are you saying it? So next thing you need to do, look at it. Take your this thing and mark it out to this particular. So guys, see what I said? Immediately you reach here, are you saying it? All you need to do is to do what? Unfold it like this. Are you saying it? Take your chalk, mark it out to this one. Now if you have question by asking me, what do you use? Please, it is half inch. You understand? Half inch to 3/4. I mean from here down to this particular point. Do you understand? Half inch to what? 3/4. Okay, so please at the end of the day, all you need to do is to do what? Take your scissors and cut it off finally. So as you can see, this is the back part. Are you seeing this is the front part? So when you fold it like this, it gives you this shape. So this is how to cut our what? Female senator top. Simple and easy. Do you understand? Okay, as you can see, with the method I told you guys I'll be using is what? Together method. I've actually cut out both the what? Front and the back. Okay guys, I'll be teaching us how to do what? Put the what? Cut out the what? The front yoke. Do you understand? And the what? The back yoke. Do you understand? So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be teaching us how to do that. So in order for you to do that, take your fabric and fold. Please, the just simple process of cutting out this yoke is more like you want to trace out exactly this particular one. Do you understand? So let's say you fold your fabric, fold enough, the one that be enough for your what? Yoke. Okay. So after you finish folding, all you need to do is separately take the front like this. Are you saying it? Please, depending on the design, the style of the yoke which you want to cut. After you finish, check it and place as if you want to trace it out. Are you saying it? Because that's what we'll be doing. Now place it very well. Next thing you need to do is to do what? Take your scissors and trace out the what? The neck. Also make sure you trace it out towards this point. Okay, also towards this particular point. Are you saying it? Immediately you finish tracing it out like this, please, first of all, first thing you need to do is to do what? Remove this particular original one. Are you saying it? So after you remove it, next thing you are going to do is to do what? Look at it. At that middle part, or you can simply mark out what? 4 inches from here. Do you understand? Or you can use this particular one. Look at what I'm saying. You can use this particular one. Get the what? The middle part. But for me, I don't like this middle part. It looks so small. Do you understand? So that's why I'm using what? 4 inches. Look at it. I'm using what? 4 inches. So on this particular 4 inches, depending on the style of your what? Yoke, all you need to do is to do what? Take your rule and do what? Connect in order to finally form your yoke. So see, look at what I mean. At the end of the day, take your scissors and do what? Cut it off. Are you seeing it? So now you've been able to do what? To get the front yoke. Now look at it. It's depending on any kind of yoke you want. Look at it. When I expand it, you can be able to see that I've actually gotten the what? The front yoke. Do you understand? Okay, so please you do exactly the same thing to the what? The back. Just exactly the same thing to the back in order to get the what? The back yoke. Look at it. What I'm trying to say is that if you want to get the back yoke, all you need to do is to do what? Take it, place it like this. Then trace it out like this. Trace this one out. Are you seeing it? Then from here, trace it out from here. Okay, then you can be able to do what? Remove this particular one. Are you seeing it? Then from here you can be able to do what? Measure out 4 to what? 5 inches, depending on what you want to use. But I'm using what? 4 inches. Look at it. Then you do what? From here you do what? You connect. Which at the end of the day, the final thing you do is what? You cut it off. Are you seeing it? Just the same thing I did on the other part. But please, if you don't want the design to be like this, if you want it to actually be what? Straight, all you need to do is to do what? Mark it out what? In a straight form. Look at what I mean. If you want your yoke, you don't want it to be having this V shape. You understand? You need to make it what? Straight. Then you do what? Cut it off. Look at it. Are you seeing it? Okay, which at the end of the day, when you expand the back part, look at it. Which at the end of the day, when you expand the back part, are you seeing it? This is actually the what? The yoke. How do we work on this yoke? You first of all fold the what? Down part. Are you seeing it? After you finish folding the down, depending on the shape of the down part, fold it. Then all you need to do is to do what? Place it like this. Are you seeing it? Then sew from this down particular part. Okay, so this is how to get the what? Both the front yoke and the what? The back yoke.
Hello guys, thanks for watching. Please, I want you to make sure you watch the part 2 because this is actually the part 1. This is just the beginning. Make sure you watch the part 2 and the rest of the videos. Please make sure you watch it. It is a complete guide. The next one will be teaching you how to do the what? Center flap. That is the what? The placket. And the rest of I'm going to teach you a lot in the next video, so make sure you watch that one. Thank you very much. Please make sure you click on the like button on this particular video. This is to enable you support us, and make sure you subscribe if you are new to this channel. Thank you, and may God bless you.